Hi, friends. Good evening. Am I audible? Good evening, IIFT. Am I audible? Hi, Anand. Thank you so much for that confirmation. Appreciate. Welcome to Dr. HR live stream, Anand. I hope you are doing well. Just give me a couple of minutes time. I think rest of your friends are joining in. Hi, Rohan. Good evening. Hi, Adinath. Very good evening. Just give me 2 minutes more. Let rest of your friends join in, and then we will start our discussion. Good evening, Chetan. Hi, Akshay, Pranay, Rohit, and to all my friends from IIFT. Hi, Rajiv. Very good evening. First of all, thank you so much for taking out time. I know Thursday evening, and I believe that you have had your classes also, and then post that you are joining in. So genuinely appreciate your time. Hi, Sivangi, Sakshi, Rajiv, Subham, Aheli, Washim. Very good evening to all of you. How are you, Dipanjan, Rishabh, Madhurima, Manshi, Rajat, and rest of my friends from IIFT? I hope all of you are really doing good. Was little curious to know whether you have started your classes from your campus or still learning is happening from your hometown, from your respective cities. Good evening, Alok, Srijay, Shashank. Very good evening. Richardson. Brilliant. I see a lot many people from Bengal, lot many people from Tamil Nadu, and couple of them from Kerala. Yeah, good, good. You have a very good composition, in fact, diversity. Mhm. Anand Iyer, Karumuru, Avinash, Yashwani, Laksh, Grishma, Nair. Thank you, Grishma, for that response. Okay, you're still operating from home. Brilliant. Yeah, we will talk about that also just in a while. Hi, Mohit, Sriyanshu, Rajiv. Brilliant. Now, I think, we are 60 plus students already. So let me respect your time. People who joined on time, thank you so very much. And, hopefully some other people would be joining in due course of time. Doesn't matter, but we'll start with our process. My name is Anil. I'm a practicing CHRO. So it's been glorious 24 years since I've been practicing HR, all through different sectors. God has been kind. I've not repeated any sector. Started with manufacturing, companies like Denso, Haryana, companies like Enercon are the manufacturing company that I started working with. Then I thought of joining hospitality, not a hotel management graduate, but very fortunate to get the opportunity to work for Oberoi Group of Hotels and Resorts. First assignment was in Chennai, Trident Hilton Chennai, followed with second assignment was with the Oberoi Rajvilas, which is in Jaipur, and which continues to be world's top 5 hotel even today, as per Condé Nast. Yeah, beautiful property, and was very, very happy to play the role of head of HR for Oberoi Rajvilas. Great learning, good takeaways, specifically when you talk about guest centricity. That was my biggest learning. Typically in a hospitality sector, unlike manufacturing, if the guest is happy with your services, then you get the feedback right then and there. If they are not happy, you get appropriate feedback on the spot. So very, very, everything that you do, irrespective of the fact whether you're front of the house like kitchen or room service, those kind of a function, or you are enabling function, which is often regarded as back of the house function, like HR, yeah, finance. Irrespective of that, everything that you do in a hospitality sector, how it revolves around guest centricity, that was my biggest takeaway. Then joined Patni Computers in IT services wing, which is today Capgemini, because subsequently Patni got acquired by iGate, and I was there during that time. But subsequently, iGate also got acquired by Capgemini. So the entity of Patni Computers is now Capgemini. Brilliant again, good company, IT services. We used to benchmark, when it comes to employee engagement, when it comes to performance management related functions, we used to benchmark IT services, and I'm glad I had that opportunity to deal with the people related issues in Patni. Then I joined UK retail giant called Tesco, and that was in Bangalore, and beautiful experience again. And post Tesco was my first CHRO assignment, and that was for a company, Indian promoter-led company who went public, and the name of the company is Just Dial. I was the CHRO, and that was my first CHRO assignment, and that was with Just Dial, and hence will be always very close to my heart. Biggest takeaway for me is to understand the information services business, and stakeholder management was my biggest takeaway. Then I joined post Just Dial, Fortune 500 New York Stock Exchange listed company called Fidelity National Financial, Fidelity popularly called. And again, that was in Bangalore, but I was fortunate enough also to operate from Jacksonville in Florida. And cut to my current role with Magic Breaks, which is into online real estate space. Yeah, online real estate simply for the fact that we are not into manufacturing or construction of any building or commercial establishment. We are an aggregator who connect potential buyers and sellers onto our platform. And it's been glorious 4+ years since I'm associated with Magic Bricks. I'm sure a lot many of you are aware of this company, Magic Bricks, and heard of this, but let me give you a background. This belongs to 180-year-old group called Bennett and Coleman, or most popularly called Times of India Group, right? So friends, typically when you open a newspaper, what do you see? You see matrimonial, you see job related information, you see entertainment, sports, economics, so on and so forth. So Times of India, still we have that newspaper. That's our core business. But 2 decades back, the realization was the future is of digital. And hence, today, if you talk about Ghana.com or Times Job or Magic Bricks or Radio Mirchi or Times Internet, each one of them are separate digitized P&L that exists today. And in the group, just to give you a clarification, within the group, we have got 3 CHROs. One for the newspaper, the media business, one for Times Internet, and one for Magic Bricks. And I lead the HR function, end-to-end strategic HR for Magic Bricks, yeah, which is 16th year in its operation right now. And friends, the good news is it's a profit-making entity. 2.5 years back, we broke even, and hence it's a profit-making entity. Now, talking about this online real estate landscape in India, there are only 2 major players. 99 acres, and Magic Bricks. Yeah. On most of the parameters, we are number one. On certain parameters, they are number one. Between us, roughly around 75% of the market share is been captured. Remaining all players are distant, number three, number four. So doesn't really influence the business in a big way. But mind you, 99 acres is a public listed company, whereas we are not. Though we are profit making entity, we are not yet public listed company. It is still supported by this Times group of Times group, or popularly called Bennett and Coleman. So friends, that is the background. Yeah. So let me keep it aside. I'll not talk much about that piece right now. Let me take a pause and move on to our next point of discussion, which is all about my leadership learnings that I have had spanning across 24 years of my career across different sectors. Yeah, that's what is going to be our core topic of discussion today. Yeah. Now, before I actually get into that, I have got few questions, and throughout our discussion, I will challenge you sufficiently with an intent to make this discussion interesting, and also to give you different flavors of HR. Hopefully by end of the session, you would find it interesting. Yeah. Initial 40 minutes, we will discuss. I will talk about it. Followed with remaining 15 minutes, you can ask me any question that you believe, either related to the theme or outside the theme, which is your top of mind, question. Feel free to ask that. Doesn't matter, even if it's not related to our current theme. I'll try my best, and honestly, I'll try and answer that question. But before that, as I said, I want to carry out this discussion through asking also certain questions, and hence I would be asking few questions in between. So friends, first question is, whether you are in a manufacturing sector or in a service sector, does not matter. Everyone, just to run the business, they need some resources. Without those, you cannot really function. And these resources in management parlance are very, very popularly called 5Ms. Why 5M? Because everything starts with M. You need men. Don't worry, men meaning it includes men and women. Or popularly, we would replace that word men with human resources. Right? Makes sense? Super. Then material, method, market, and money. The 5Ms, the resources are men, material, method, market, and fifth one is money. These are the resources, definitely, irrespective of the kind of or the nature of business that you are in. You need to have these 5Ms in place. That's what, no rocket science, we all have read that in our academic career, in our courses, different courses in management. Now the bigger question is, I'm sure most of you have come across the statement which says people are an organization's biggest asset. I repeat, the statement says people are an organization's biggest asset. Surbi, Akash, Pulkit, Abhinav, and all my friends from IIFT. I want to know very quickly, how many of you have heard the statement that people are an organization's biggest asset? And I do have a follow-up question. The follow-up question is, if you have heard this statement, how many of you believe in the statement that people or human resources are an organization's biggest asset? That's my question precisely. Okay, Rishabh, thank you for that response. Rishabh is saying that's true. Shivans also is saying that's true. Jeevan Santosh is saying, I've heard it and I have believed. I know, friends, sorry to disappoint you, but I'm sure you are going to hate me for making this statement. I'm saying, I want you to pay attention here, Survi, Srivans, Rohit, Anand, Adinath. Yeah, people are the crux of any organization. Okay, I'm saying people are not the biggest asset of an organization. I said, you're going to hate me for making that statement because I myself is an HR practitioner. Yeah, but I'm saying the first leadership lesson that I have learned and I want you to carry home today is people, that statement is wrong. People are not an organization's biggest asset. Good people are. Now, let me try and explain that. People are not an organization's biggest asset. Question: why I make that statement? Number one, every organization in their performance management system have got a bell curve. And what we also try to identify is these are these are my top talent. These are middle of the road, medium performers. These are bottom performers or performers who are struggling. Now, friends, just the way, think of your 10th exam or 12th board. Yeah, every 10th or 12th, every classroom would have, every session would have few students. Some student will pass out this, 10th with, first division, some second division, some people would also fail. In the same manner, the corporate world tries and identifies at least once a year. Yeah, in some organization it is more than a year. They try and identify who are my top talent, who are my middle of the road, and who are my struggling talent. And what follows is people who are struggling with performance, normally the practice is they get an additional opportunity, just like back paper in our boards, in our 10th, 12th, or graduation, or engineering, whatever it is. You get an opportunity to rewrite. Similarly, in corporate world, people get an opportunity to improve their performance. Even after providing an opportunity, if there is no improvement in the performance level, ultimately what happens is they are asked to move out of the company. Now, friends, my counter question to you is, if people are your assets, would you classify them basis their performance level? Would you ask the poor performers to go out basis their performance level? Would you ask certain category of people to move out because they are your assets? That's what the statement said. So I strongly believe, because that is not happening, simply saying people are an organization's biggest asset is a misnomer. It's misguiding. People in general are not an organization's asset. Good people are. I'll come to the good piece. Number two, second reason. All of us are aware there are plenty of job losses all around us. And we know who are the people prone to job losses. People who are struggling with performance level all the time. The managers, they identify, and whenever there is a crisis like what we are going through right now, the biggest casualty is people who are struggling with performance level. Yeah, organizations put multiple filter to identify who are the people we got to keep them on the company roll, who are the people probably they are not ready for the next, in what is next in line for them, and hence those category of people are asked to go. Now, if people are an organization's biggest asset, would you allow your assets to move out, is my question. And hence the reframing of the statement is people in general are not an organization's asset. Good people are an organization's asset. Now, you can ask me, Anil, what do you mean by good? Good in terms of alignment, good in terms of potential, good in terms of consistency level of high performance, good in terms of attitude, good in terms of taking people along. People who are good, there would not be any dearth of jobs for them, opportunities for them. And hence, I want you to rewrite that statement, not people in general, but good people are an organization's asset. Why? Because I always believe talent or good talent would continue to be a winner irrespective of the times that we go through. That's my first learning. Yeah, not necessarily all people are assets, but good people are an organization's true asset. How to be in that, quote unquote, within that, good, in the purview of good definition is consistently perform well, show potential, learnability has to be there, approach or mindset or overall attitude got to be positive, alignment with your manager with the big picture has to be there. If these are the things, you get yourself insulated, you would always be in demand in your current role or outside the current organization also. That's definitely number one learning. Number two, every organization, we all know that we are currently going through this crisis, which is unprecedented. In our lifetime, we have not seen anything like this. Yeah. But this crisis has taught us lot many lessons. Number one for me is, observation is, during this unprecedented time, I'm referring to March, third week of March 2020, when this Corona and COVID-19 situation hit us. That is when everybody was forced to follow lockdown measure. Every organization, every leader, they were forced to go through 3 steps during this phase in the last 9 months, 8-9 months. Number one, during April, May, June, definitely when everybody was following lockdown measure, the number one priority for organizations and leaders was, how do we survive? How do we stay relevant? How do we stay alive during this time when everybody is following lockdown? There are no economic activity happening, right? And hence, very, very important for organizations to reboot their workplace strategy. What did organizations do? Some organizations said, okay, if it's a matter of our survival, let's go for a graded pay cut. Some organizations said, we will defer our annual increment promotion cycle. Some organizations said, we will not, let there be a hiring freeze. We would not hire any no, recruiters right now, and so on and so forth, right? And some other organizations also have asked certain category of people to go out of the organization. So their job losses we have seen all around us. And these are the facts we knew. Everybody, friends, when it is a matter of survival, absolutely fine for an individual, for an organization, for a leader to take a tough call. Every employee understands that. But mind you, in any crisis situation like this, the golden rule are number 2, 1 and 2. Number 1 is, if you have to take a hard call, by all means do that, but communicate well in advance. Very, very important. And communicate with right intent. At times, over communication is also fine, but communication helps in bringing down that anxiety level drastically. And hence, very important to proactively go ahead and communicate. These 2 things should never be done. Number 1, while managing out people owing to some adversary or some sort of a crisis situation, do not ever undermine or demean the dignity of labor. That's seriously no. Meaning, you can't say you are useless, you're good for nothing, there is no role, you have not done well. No, you don't have to get into that. Yeah, dignity of labor has to be upheld all the time, irrespective of how an organization or what an organization goes through. Very, very important, and the golden rule. Because you got to be treating people the way you would like to be treated, isn't it? That's a core human value. Very, very important. And hence, what not to do is not to demean the dignity of labor. Second thing, every organization has got certain values, and we say these are the values which determine the DNA of organization, which determine the culture of an organization. Yeah. And every organization has got certain culture, certain value system, and normally you would find them on posters as soon as you enter any organizational premises, or during the workplace, or typically they are hanged on the wall. For short term gain, you cannot compromise on those values. If you do that, it becomes absolutely impossible for you to rebuild corporate culture. It becomes almost impossible. And hence, for short term gains, you cannot compromise on the values. If you're saying meritocracy, if you're saying high performance, if you're saying respect is our value, you cannot afford to not respect your people because you are going through a crisis situation. So this is very, very important and goes a long way, because such softer aspects, such fundamental stuff which determines the DNA of an organization, gets noticed by people across rank and file. And hence, very, very important to live those values, walk the talk when you talk about those corporate values. Friends, quickly, my 5C during this crisis situation, and what I have learned is 5C. One is communication plays an important role. Why? Because, see, all of a sudden, from third week of March 2020, we were said that, everybody got to be operating from home. People did not know for how long we will continue, because there were plenty of uncertainty. And on top of that, there were job losses happening. People were scared. They were concerned. Plenty of anxiety. And hence, organizations or leaders who took a brave step and proactively reached out to people, communicated, and talked to them, kind of, through town hall, through, virtual town hall or one-on-one meeting, they found it relatively easier. Friends, I want you to know that this is not the end of crisis. In 2008, we have seen Great Depression. Yeah. Then currently we are going through 2021, we are going through this COVID-19. There is no guarantee that tomorrow there would not be any crisis. Yeah. And if that happens, that's not in our control. What we can do is, whatever is in our control, let's try and be sensitive and develop stimulus to react to those kind of a situation, right? Is very, very important. Yeah. And hence, I'm sharing this 5C. First C is about communication. Communication plays a very, very significant role. Second C is about connecting with people. Everybody was working from offices. We used to go, shake hand, talk to people, have coffee together. All of a sudden, because of this crisis, everything is virtual, following lockdown measures. That time, because we say man is a social animal, you need to talk to them. You need to pick up the phone on a random basis. Even in my HR team, what we did is randomly pick up the phone and talk to people, inquire about their well-being. That goes a long way. That gives them reassurance, mental reassurance, that yes, this here is an organization who are genuinely concerned. Find out how they are doing. And connecting is also about employee engagement. I'm sure you are aware that most of the organizations, as part of their employee engagement, virtually have gone through the virtual town hall, virtual reward ceremonies, virtual even get together, meaning you carry your food, I carry my food, and over a Zoom call or a Google Hangout call, we would have a good laugh, right? That helped us in bringing down the mental stress level of people, and very, very important. And hence, second C is connecting with people is very important in whatever manner possible. Number 3, C, is about concern. Yeah, concern is everybody was worried about their medical well-being, their physical well-being, and they were concerned about their jobs, whether they have their job or not, whether there is a graded pay cut or not. Yeah, those are few anxiety that people had. They were concerned. Plus, God forbid if any of my family member they catch this COVID-19 virus, then whether the hospital, the company has got any tie-up with any hospital, whether I will be getting a bed or not, whether the company has any facility of ambulance or not, whether I'm insured or not, my family member have got insurance or not. These are generic, concerns that people have. Organization who provided this benefit, organizations like us, we opened up our active telephone lines. Anybody feeling any symptom can reach out to us. We would help you out in terms of providing a ambulance. And that, friends, have gone a long way in building the trust. And people, now mind you, the true test of a character for an individual or for an organization is where how do you behave when your chips were down. Not necessarily, we have organized offsites in China, in Malaysia, and different other parts, but how do you behave when there is a crisis? That is something which people will keep in their memory for a very, very long time. And these, though they sound very, very basic, very, very fundamental stuff, but organizations or leaders who focused on the third C found it relatively easier to manage this transition. Fourth C is about compassion. Yeah, compassion, my dear friends, is all about being empathetic. There are two words. One, we talk about sympathy, the other one is empathy. Now, think of a situation. Some people have lost their job. Sympathy is all about, oh, I'm sad to hear you lost your job. Hear, underline hearing. I'm sad to hear you lost your job. I just showing my sympathy. Empathy, on the contrary, is I can actually feel probably what you are currently going through because you were asked to go. When you feel, when you internalize, that's when you tend to make an extra effort to help somebody. So compassion is all about empathy. Example, typically talent acquisition team during April, May last year, meaning 2020, relatively the hiring activity were slashed. They were brought down. The people were there on the company road. So we said the 15, 20 people who were impacted with job losses, why don't we rewrite their profiles, biodata, help them out in posting it in some job portals. And HR people, they have got also access to information, insider information, who are the organization hiring. And my team, talent acquisition team, helped people in terms of providing those support during that time. Did not cost us anything. At the same time, it was very, very well received. On top of that, of course, we had to rely on few outplacement agencies, and that has gone really well. So people understand that organization is forced to initiate such steps, but they are at the same time showing compassion. They are compassionate about their existing employee. Very, very important thing. And the fifth one is something called catharsis. Catharsis. Not a new concept, originated during Aristotle time, but what it means is suppressing the feeling of people is not good for mental health. Allow people to speak their mind. That's good for mental health. Otherwise, unnecessary stress would build in and people would not be in a position to give their best. Catharsis is an art, it's a technique. Allow people. So we have to handhold coaching, counseling, managers, and saying that, okay, let people say whatever that is there in their mind. What they deserve to get is patient hearing. Hear them out. And that goes a long way also. That the more you hear, the more you would get perspectives of people, and basis that you can definitely design your intervention. So friends, these are my 5 C's: communication, connecting, concern, compassion, and catharsis. These are my key learning during this unprecedented time, and I believe this holds true for all kind of unprecedented or any kind of a situation which is very, very adversely likely to impact us. Things which is not in our control, we can't do much about it. But if we can focus on these critical pieces, definitely it is going to help all of us. Now let's move on to the next topic. Are we seeing any workplace trends during this time? people say work from home, and that's a new normal. And I'm sure you have heard about the statement, this is the new normal. Friends, as a practitioner, I do not believe in that statement. There is anything called new normal. I do not believe in that. Why? Because there is a crisis today, organizations or individuals are trying to put their mechanism in place to deal with that crisis. And these are newer methods of doing, but this is not the new normal. This would tend to become a new normal. This will play the role of a new normal till the time you do not have a bigger crisis. The moment you say new normal, it appears to me as if this is static. No, this is not static. This is definitely going through a change. And this will change when you have another crisis in place. And hence, I do not believe there is a belief in the statement. Keeping that aside, work from home as a workplace trend is not something new. We have had this even before COVID-19 situation. But what it has done is it has changed the mindset of people. Earlier, when you talk about work from home, people would assume, what is work from home for HR? What is work from home for sales? Yeah, work from home makes sense only for IT folks, the product or tech or those kind of, or engineering stuff. For us, what is work from home? But during this crisis, when everybody was forced to operate from home, follow lockdown measure, it has proved every leader who were little pessimistic about this entire concept, it changed their mindset. When it comes to workplace productivity, it has proved right now that everybody can be equally productive. And hence, I believe as a workplace flexibility norm, it's here to stay for a quite long time. But my counter narrative is, why do we talk about work from home alone? Things are changing. Learning organizations are focusing around work from anywhere. Nobody is interested in knowing whether you are punching in for 8 hours, 10 hours, you are working from your home, or you are working from the beautiful beaches of Goa. So long as you fulfill your objective, it should suffice. Organizations and HR would be absolutely fine with this. This is what is going to emerge and gain even further momentum. So I want to say there would be a shift from work from home to work from anywhere. We are going to see more and more workplace flexibility in the time to come. Yeah, that's trend number one. For easy understanding of student community, I have developed, there are numerous benefits of work from home, so to say, but on top of that, there is a acronym, short form, and very easy for us to understand, and I call it STOP. STOP signifies the benefits of work from home. STOP, stop. S is for social distancing. If WHO report to be believed, virus is here to stay forever. And only way out for people like you and I to stay safe is to maintain social distance and wear mask and stuff like that. Work from home or work from anywhere, friends, ensures that we don't crowd up workplaces. Yeah, there is social distancing, and hence this is here to stay for some more time. Number two is T in the STOP mnemonic, in the STOP acronym. T is for travel time. Friends, it's a proven fact. 20 to 25% of the average time, people like you and I, irrespective of the city we live in, we spend commuting from home to office and office to home. And it takes a toll on your overall productivity level. It drains your energy. And if you happen to be in cities like Bangalore or some other places, it's even chaotic, right? And in work from home or in this kind of a flexibility mode, you don't have to commute. And hence, the productivity level would ultimately go higher. You don't have to, commute, and hence, your dependence on, transportation or organizations that don't need to spend money on transportation. So it's a win-win proposition, and hence, definitely it's here to stay. That is about T. O in the STOP acronym is office occupancy. Gone are those days wherein organizations would be boasting about, hey, I have a swanky 30-acre campus. No, the trend right now we are seeing, when chips are down, when there are pressures around fixed assets, organizations are not willing to invest in real estate. Rather, the trend right now is co-working spaces. So the dependence on office occupancy would further go down, but that will give rise to definitely co-working space concept even more, and it's here to stay. Last one is the P. P stands for pollution level. We know, by all means, we want economic activity to resume. We want manufacturing to get into better than COVID-19 situation. But think of April, May, June. People were saying, I can see from Jalandhar the Himalayas, which in our lifetime we never saw. People were making those comments. And think of people suffering with asthma, or young kids. Yeah. So pollution levels were drastically down during those times. So that was also when less number of people commute, less number of office space utilization. Of course, it will come significantly contribute in reducing the carbon footprint. So it taught us how to also peacefully coexist with nature, with our environment, with the overall things around us. That these are some of the additional benefits of this workplace flexibility, and I strongly believe it's here to stay. Second trend, friends, I pray and hope all of you should get job of your choice. But to me, I believe there would be a drastic reduction in the number of employment activities we are going to see in the next 12 months or so. And when I'm saying employment activity, I'm only referring to full-time employment. Yeah, the activity would drastically reduce. Yeah, but at the same time, it will give rise to a parallel economy called gig economy. Friends, gig economy is nothing new to us. We are aware of this economy. These are on-call services economy. These are people, for example, your AC is not working. What do? We dial probably, just dial, or probably we try and reach out to urban company of this world. They come, we pay them fee, they get it done, and they move out of company. Similarly, Amazon delivery guys, similarly, Uber drivers, all of them are gig workers, but in blue collar. My prediction is, in India, we are going to see more demand generation, specifically in white collar gig workers, be it digital marketing expert, be it merger and acquisition expert, be it UX UI professional, learning and development professional, so on and so forth. White collar, which was limited, will see big demand in the times to come. Mind you, friends, globally it's $4.5 trillion business, gig economy. Cut to India, it's going to touch $420 billion. So huge business proposition, right? And it's also estimated another 5 million people are likely to join this gig economy in the next 12 months time. So gig is really going to be big. That's my next prediction for Indian employment market. Now, what it means to you is, what happens? That's why I said I pray and hope that all of you should get a job of your choice. If some of you wanted BFSI vertical, you should get. Some of you wanted FMCG or consumer internet, you should get. But unfortunately, if you are not getting, grab any opportunity that comes on your way. Do not look at compensation. Do not look at whether you are getting a stipend or not for your summer internship, live project. The more experience you gain, nobody can take out those learnings that you are going to have during tough time. Definitely, you can encash this experience when things are back to normal, when things again start prospering. Yeah, so that's my limited input to you. In the era of gig economy, you must try and grab any opportunity that you earlier, the focus was all around government job. Yeah, during our father's time, our parents' time. Now the focus full-time employment. Now in Western market, in already developed economies, 60% up to 70% of the employment opportunities are gig working, gig assignments. So nothing should really matter. right? But get that till the time you have, because competition is going to be intense, very, very intense. Now, let me pause and ask a question. Chetan, Rajiv, Wasim, and Akash, and so many other friends from IIFT. My question to you at this juncture is, who is your competition? And who is Akash? Why should anybody get you a job? Is my question. What is so unique about you? I have asked multiple questions, but I'll try and help you out in answering those. First question was, who is your competition? Now, when Klaus Schwab, the founding chairman of World Economic Forum, said that fourth industrial revolution is all about Internet of Things, 3D printing, so on and so forth, it also means that the whole world is digitally connected. So Akash, Washim, Rajiv, and my other friends from IIFT, you are not necessarily competing with all the B school graduates who are likely to pass out from Delhi, Mumbai, India, but you have to compete with everybody around the world, be it in China, be it in Malaysia, Singapore, UK, US, Australia, Japan, all the people who would graduate along with you, you will have to compete with them. Because when everything on a virtual mode, then resource, the talent becomes available, the availability of talent becomes abundant. There are plenty of people available. So it's a pick and choice. The choice is with the recruiters, with the corporate. Why should anybody hire you? Ask that question to yourself. Now, when you are trying to ask that question to yourself, the answer would be, what is so unique about me? As Anil, what is so unique about me? I need to introspect. I need to find out. Very, very important to ask this tough question to ourselves. Why should anybody hire me? When there is an ocean of candidates available all around us, what should I be doing to stand aside, to get highlighted? The first step in that process is, friends, find out your strength. Find out your unique offering that will make you stand apart from rest of the people. Now, you can say, Anil, that's good for you to give a gyan, but are there any techniques available? Yes, there are. There are techniques like Gallup Strength Finder, 360-degree feedback, Johari window. If nothing works, then probably you have your close buddies, family members. Ask them, what did they like in you? What do they feel that in terms of overall competencies, management competencies, what do they believe that is your strength? Try and build around that and create a niche. If you are somebody with tech blend of mind, the world is full of problems. If you can create an app, help them out, then and resolve an issue, that is important. If you are good at we have got plenty of data, but if you have very good knack of going for predictive modeling, analytics, and if you can derive some insight out of the data, and that insight can help an organization, you would be always in demand. If design thinking, problem solving approach, growth mindset, taking people along, emotional question, these are the unwritten competencies. You don't see them in the JD, but these are the unwritten competency, friend, which has gained more momentum during this time. And mind you, the hiring process is also going through a change. Earlier, in good times, probably we'll visit your campus, we'll shake hand, we'll meet up in person, then we will have multiple rounds, and then we roll out an offer. Mind you, cut to today's time, how HR processes also have got changed, and hence what you need to do to prepare for that is the hiring process also. The screening happens through a telephonic interview. When we receive applications, the screening happens through telephonic, and if you sound good, articulate enough, logical thinking sounding, then you get qualified for the next round. Next round is probably through this video mode. And mind you, friends, in both these modes, on all these three modes, face-to-face interview versus virtual video calling versus telephonic interview. The competency required in all three modes are different. It requires a bit of practice. In audio, in your telephonic call, voice modulation, articulation, logical thinking, these are the things that we evaluate. When it comes to video based testing, your body language, your posture, the gating, what we call gating, GAIT, your body, the shoulder, eye contact, all of that is very, very important, along with how you are dressed up. It requires a bit of practice. Stand in front of a mirror, practice it, look at your body posture, body language, and if you do that, you would be second to none. These are the unique ways of staying ahead of the race, staying ahead of the competition. If you practice more, the better you are practiced, the better you are poised to get on to the next level. Yeah. Lastly, before I really wind up this session and open it for question and answer, as I said, this is not going to be the end of crisis. In any crisis situation, friends, there are only two choices, two outcomes. If you are hit with a crisis situation, there can only be two alternatives. Just to give you an example, let's say you are walking on a deserted lane and you get chased by a stray dog and you are very, very fearful of stray dog. You are walking alone and you are chased by a stray dog. What do? Choice only two. Run as fast as possible, get out of the situation, or stay there, pick up a stone or a stick or whatever you find, try and scare the dog away, the stray dog away, right? I said run out of the situation, that's what we call flight. The other option of staying there, scaring the stray dog, is fight. Friends, for professionals like you and I, flight is not an option. भागोगे तो कहां तक भागोगे? There would be some other crisis. Stand there, take the problem head on, and you would definitely be a winner. Embrace the change, prepare yourself, get the signals, what's the trend, and prepare yourself and prepare for the challenge. And if you have this mindset, you would always be a winner, irrespective of the kind of crisis that hits you. Flight is not an option, fight is what it is. With that, I wish you all the very best. Again, I pray and hope that you should get job or internship of your choice, and try and reach out to people and seek help. And wherever you are getting an opportunity, grab that opportunity. Learning has to be your single point agenda at this stage. With that, I believe it's time for Q&A, and I will take few questions. Thankfully, live chat is on. Let me know if I can answer any of your questions. But before that, let me know, how did you find this session? Even if there are two takeaways from this 45 minutes, 50 minutes kind of a session, I'll feel the session was, you spending 1 hour, I spending 1 hour is fruitful. Absolutely brilliant question, Wasim. What do you think of the future workplace, like hybrid model of office within post-pandemic world, and what skill do we have to handle such changes? Okay, two questions you have asked. Definitely the future is a hybrid model. As you might already have come across news articles which says that organizations like Amazon has decided, okay, these are the positions who are for all the time to come, they don't need to come to work unless there is an urgency. Every organization has identified certain roles, certain positions, and we all are also working from home right now, as of now. And unless there is any urgency or there is a need or there is a critical meeting, to the extent possible, number one priority right now is the safety and well-being of our colleagues, and that will continue to be. And since I said there are multiple benefits of this workplace flexibility norm, and which is a win-win for both the parties, and hence I strongly believe it's here to stay. The skills which are in demand right now is problem-solving approach, design thinking, growth mindset, taking people along, emotional intelligence, analytics, and predictive modeling. Very, very important. These are the things. Yeah. I hope I answered your question, Wasim. Thank you, Washim. Survi, okay, good. Ajay, session was informative, great. Now, friends, the reason why I asked, that's not the end. I have a hidden agenda also. Let me go and do that. During this lockdown period, 4 months back, I started my YouTube channel called Dr. HR with an intent to share insights with the people like you, young minds like you, so that otherwise, my 20 plus years of experience, merely saying that does not really help if I'm not able to share the practical nuances of what we go through managing people. Right? There are multiple videos, roughly around 40, 50 videos that I have created so far. Would request you to go through those videos, please. The channel is Dr.HR, and at 47, I thought I need to also innovate and contribute and give back to society, and hence YouTube channel Dr.HR was created. Would request you, if you like this, please, and if you like today's session, want to stay connected, want to understand the people practices across the globe, along with few satires, please do subscribe to Dr.HR channel, because at this age of 47, I also need some motivation. Have done good branding of Dr. HR. I hope my 90 odd friends from IIFT will give me one subscriber, right? Each. And we will have some 90 or 100 subscribers by end of the session. Done deal? If you liked it, that's the Guru Dakshin I wanted, friends. And my name is Anil Kumar Misra. I'm available on LinkedIn. On a serious note, try and reach out to me if you believe I can be of any help. Anybody is interested in carrying out some live projects, then also, let me know. I don't guarantee that everybody will get, but if there is an alignment, then definitely we can explore that possibility. With that, I thank you for your time, and I only request you to stay positive and test negative. Thank you so much. All the best. Appreciate your time, friends. And please don't forget to subscribe to Dr. HR if you have not done it so. Okay? Bye bye and take care.